Hi, and welcome back to part 3. Today we are talking about your positioning and your online presence in terms of your goals and what that visibility and that elevation and that brand awareness and that scaling means to you. And so we can get really specific on what we are focusing on. If you want more help and support in this particular area, come over to check out my digital disco, which is nickyraby.com/digital disco. And we cover all of the things: websites, online presence, discovery calls, ideal clients, bringing more people into your business, and all that great stuff. So the first thing I want to ask you is your vision and your reality talking to each other? And I think that this is a natural thing that happens because many of us are slightly uncomfortable, or we are still getting used to the fact we have to sell ourselves, or we're putting ourselves out on the internet. And I think lots of us have this hangover lurking underneath from school, maybe, where it's like, oh, what if I put my hand up? Or will people laugh at me? Or are people going to talk about me behind my back? Or all of these things, whatever it might be. And so I think sometimes there is a disconnect because in our head, we have the big vision, we have the ideas, we're in flow. It's like the dance when nobody's watching situation. And then the version that we put online is this polite, slightly hesitant, tentative version of ourselves because we don't want to be too much. We don't want to be all of the things. And so firstly, I want you to make sure that what you're building and growing in your head is actually being represented in the way that you put yourself out there. Number 2, where are you following and not leading? Now, I'm not saying that you have to lead a country or a company or a board or anything like that, but you do have to lead yourself. And I think that so often our opinions, thoughts, ways that we do things are being outsourced to other people. What do you think about this? Or I was going to do this and then I saw this video online and now I'm just like going to scrap my whole business idea. And yes, there is a place for feedback. Yes, there is a place for somebody being able to share something and you think, well, thank goodness I saw that before I did this whole thing. But what I'm saying is I want you to get to a stage where things are not wobbly, where you can stand in integrity, in connection with what it is that you want, and really lead that and say, this is what I believe, this is what's important, this is how it's going to help you, and work from that place rather than saying, I'm kind of doing this, and if you like it, I mean, I hope you do, let's just see where we go. Number 3, where are you softening? So this was a trait that used to happen a lot where I was so comfy cozy with everybody. I had a little bit of don't mind energy. I was trying to be nice. And actually my role, especially with my coaching and writing and certainly acting as well, it goes through everything, is I want to be thought-provoking. I want to say something that sometimes is like a bit of a mic drop moment where people go, oh, right. Yeah. Oh, I do need to do that. And I think there's a difference between saying it to shock or saying it, I'm sure loads of us have got terrible stories of PE teachers as a kid have been shouted at across a school field to get moving or whatever it might be. But there's a difference between saying you don't even have to get off the bench, and there's a difference with somebody shouting at you telling you you're slow, or somebody running alongside you going, you can do this. And I think finding that tone that is also going to hold that space for your clients, your customers, higher version of themselves. It's a really powerful thing. And I think sometimes we're being a bit tentative because we don't want to offend people. And actually, I've been so grateful in my life sometimes where somebody has said something, I'm like, oh, thank you for pointing that out. Actually, I didn't see that for myself. Or you really think I can do that? Well, thank you very much. That is great. I want you to be really aware of your language and the kinds of spaces that you are setting up. Number 4, leading on. Where are you concerned? Where are you holding back? And I think at the risk of being cancelled, I think this is happening so much. People don't want to lose their business overnight, so they're being very vanilla. They're not saying, one thing or another. And I see that sometimes with podcast interviews. And yes, everybody has a right to their own boundaries and what they share. But I now switch off interviews that don't go anywhere, or people go, oh my god, hi, you're amazing, no, you're amazing, no, this is really great, and I'm like, what are you saying? I know that you're complimenting each other, but where is this going? How is this being driven forward? And so I want you to think about how you can really show up as that leader and give people a step-by-step process and really show people how you can help and support them. Finally, what would happen and how would you feel if actually this was your most successful month? If you had an absolute influx of people coming to your website, buying your things, wanting to work with you, you had a wait list because you were at capacity, how would that feel? There is a great phrase, which I'm not going to even attempt, but that we are more frightened of our light rather than our darkness. So we stay in the dark because we don't want to be too much. How would that feel if we were actually that big version of ourselves? And as I have, and I'm sure you have, we've seen people's businesses change overnight, soar. Oh my gosh, suddenly like somebody posted about this and all of these sales came in. So how would you feel if that actually happened? Are you ready? Do you might need to make some shifts? Do you need to show up not only in your mind as that leader, but do you need to put things in place to risk assessment it essentially? I hope that's been useful for you today. Come back tomorrow. We are talking about visibility, which again is another one of those topics. We're going to be exploring the other side of the goals, and I'll see you then. If you want to find out more about your digital disco, come on over. I would love to help and support you, and I'll see you then. Bye.